JPA stands for Java Persistence API. It is a specification that facilitates object relational mapping to manage relational data in Java applications. It provides a platform to work directly with objects instead of using SQL statements. As part of Java Persistence API, at end of the session you will able to configure MySQL database in JBOSS server. To configure MySQL database in JBOSS Server 7.1 in Windows operating system, follow the following procedure. First, set environment variable for JBOSS Server 7.1. The environment variable name equal to JBOSS underscore home and value is the location of JBOSS server installed directory. Then locate the directory bin of my JBOSS 7.1 and execute the batch file JBOSS-CLI and execute the following command to add module for MySQL database in JBoss server. For executing the command to add module for MySQL database, we need to have the jar file of MySQL connector latest version 8.0.29 in the local disk C. Once the module is added in JBoss server, then create MySQL driver in the JBoss server by adding the following command in the file standalone.xml. Then start the JBoss server using Red Hat Code Ready Studio and create MySQL data source using JBoss Management Console as explained in this session. To configure MySQL database, open Red Hat Code Ready Studio. Look at the tab Servers, double click on the server, then click on Runtime Environment. Here we can identify the location of installed directory of JBoss Server 7.1. So it will be installed in the location local disk C, users and the directory of Windows login and then JBoss EAP 7.1. So copy this location and set environment variables. To set environment variable, choose this PC and right click and go to the option properties, then identify advanced system settings, click on advanced system settings, then environment variable. Under the system variables, create a new environment variable for JBoss server. So the variable name is JBoss underscore O and the variable value, the location of installed directory. Okay, then okay. Now the environment variable is created for JBoss server. As per the procedure, we created environment variable for JBoss server. Next, we need to locate the directory bin for JBoss server. So it will be installed in the location local disk users Windows login directory and JBoss EAP 7.1. There we can locate the directory bin. Then the next step, we need to execute the batch file JBoss-CLI. So identify the batch file in the bin directory jboss-cli.batch. Double click to run the batch file. So then execute the command to add MySQL database module in JBoss server. Before executing, ensure that the jar file is available in your local disk. So in local disk C, the jar file is not available. We need to download the jar file and paste it in the local disk C. So we already working with MySQL database with the latest version 8.0.29. So that will be available in your local disk C, users, the directory of Windows login. There you can find m.m2, then repository, then choose the directory MySQL, MySQL connector. There you can see the version 8.0.29. Open. This is the jar file for MySQL connector version 8.0.29. So copy this jar file and paste it in local disk C. Now the jar file is available in the location C. Then open the installed location of JBOSS Server 7.1. So users, Windows login directory and JBOSS EAP 7.1. Then open the directory module. As of now, there is no module added for MySQL database. So the directory module has only one folder system. Then execute this command to add MySQL database module in JBoss server by using jboss-cli.batch file. Now the command is executed successfully. Then we can verify whether the module is added into JBoss server. So open the home directory of JBoss server installation and choose the directory module. Now one more file is created, com.mysql main. There you can see the jar file along with one XML file, module.xml. So just open the file module.xml using edit or edit with notepad++. Here the details are available. The root path is the jar file MySQL connector 8.0.29.jar, and we added two dependencies, javax.api and javax-transaction.api. So the module for MySQL database is created successfully. Then create MySQL driver in JBoss server by adding the following tag in standalone.xml. So we can find out the file standalone.xml in the JBoss installed directory. So return back to the home directory, JBoss EAP server 7.1. Then open the folder standalone and then configuration. There you can find the file standalone.xml. So open the file using edit or edit with notepad+. Identify the subsystem for data sources. Just scroll and identify the subsystem for data sources. Okay, this is the subsystem for data sources. Here we can add the tag for MySQL driver. So this is the tag we are going to add, driver name equal to, we can assign some name for MySQL driver, and module equal to com.mysql, which we created in the previous step. And within that we need to add a driver class for MySQL database, com.mysql cj.jdbc driver, D capital letter. So then open the file standalone.xml and create a tag, driver name equal to MySQL and module equal to com.mysql. Then close the tag driver and add driver class. Driver icon class com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver D capital letter and close the tag driver class. Then save the file standalone.xml, close and open Red Hat Code Ready Studio and start the server. So click on the start icon, or you can right click and use the option start to start the JBoss server 7.1. Okay, now the server is started. It is listening on the port number 9990. So copy this link and open your browser. So try to open console. You will get a message like this: the Red Hat JBoss Enterprise Application Platform is running. So it's not opening the management console. To open a management console, locate the JBOSS installed directory. So this is the JBOSS installed directory. Then open the file bin. There is a batch file add user. So double click on the batch file add user. So now you can see the option A and B. So option A is used to add a management user. So use the option A, just type A and then press enter. Then we need to provide the username for management user. So by default username for Red Hat server is admin. So we can use the same username admin, then press enter. Then we need to set password for this username. So there are two options listed here. A. Update the existing user password and roles. B. Enable the existing user. C. Type a new username. So I'm using the option A. Update the existing user password and roles. So now we can enter the password for the username admin. I entered password, it will be not visible. So then enter, then we need to re-enter the password for confirmation. So remember this password, then press enter. What groups do you want this user to belong to? So just leave it blank. Then enter yes. Now the password is updated for the username admin and the username admin will be activated. So then press any key to continue. Closed. Now you can use the link to open a console. Now it will ask you to provide username and password. So username is admin and use the password which you set using this batch file. Then sign in. It opens the management console. Click on configuration, subsystems, choose data sources and select non-XA data source. There is an option to add a new data source. So click on add, then choose MySQL data source. Next, if you want to change, you can change the name and JNDA, Java naming directory interface name. Otherwise, use the default one. Then next, use the option detect driver. Now we can see the driver details which we added in the standalone.xml file. So choose MySQL and next connection URL. We need to add the database schema name where we can create tables for JPA applications. So I'm adding the schema name KLU and username of MySQL database, root and password of MySQL database, not the password of JBOSS management console. This is the password of your MySQL database which you set while installing MySQL database in your system. Then click on next, then test the connection. You will get a message successfully created JDBC connection. Then OK, next, then finish. Now you will get a message added data source MySQL. Then click on reload server now. Now the server is reloaded. You can see one more database in the non-XA data sources, MySQL DS. So click on MySQL DS and use the option view and go to connections. Click on test connection. You will get successfully created JDBC connection.